Welcome to The Informant, the podcast that talks about anything and everything. We cover from sports, religion, politics, social, you name it. I'm your host as ever, Doc McLeod. So without any further ado, let's delve right into it. Very good people, I hope I find you well. How are you on this very Sunday? Hey, we had a very lovely day, but I have come here today to talk about something else totally different. First and foremost, before I go any further, let me try and put this right. It has been agreed, and it's taking the person of Thomas Mapfumo Tafirenyika, so that he understands this message. He is very much welcome, and it has been prepared that he be welcome to Zimbabwe to retire at home. It's news that we are going to be hearing within the next few days to come. So all I can advise is, I think all of us as Zimbabweans, we can agree that he is a national legend and still a living one. So at this point in time, I still feel and think I should second that as well. The guy saved the nation during the Liberation War. He was one of those singers that kept people encouraged, people entertained during wartime. So for that, he deserves a befitting retirement package back home. Whatever he has done in the music industry, he is an icon, he is a mogul. He is one of the biggest, greatest musicians we have heard during our time. Songs like Pili Goriwaenda, you know all those songs. You can play them till this very day. They still carry the vibrance. He used to sing songs that kept us going. So I want to say, after everything has been said and done, and non-apolitical, he should for sure be allowed to go back to Zimbabwe. Thomas Mapfumo, I'll be reaching out to him as well. I hope I'll be congratulating him and not allow pride to take over. He is too old to be fighting battles for young people. Let's agree with it. He's not selling your struggle as you always claim. Let's agree that it is very important that he goes back to Zimbabwe and retire in his native nation of Zimbabwe. Let's move away from Thomas Mukanya Tafirenyika Mapfumo Mchadura. Let's move right into our neighboring country. Zambia is the nation I am bringing forth now. Zambia has had seven presidents to this very day since independence. And of the 7 presidents, I have met 4. Of the 4 that I have met, wow, it becomes so scary as well, yeah? Of the 4 that I have met, all 4 have now since passed away or passed on, whichever term you want to use. So the late KK, I have met him. The late Lungu, I have met him. The other one, the other 2, I'll mention them, but nevertheless, I have met 4 of the 7. I have not met HH. I have never met him, but I have communicated evidence which I have. Even through his embassy here in the United Kingdom, I have made contact. Even his social media handles, we have communicated, which is perfect and proper. Right, let me go to the Edgar Lungu issue that has taken toll amongst Zimbabweans, amongst Zambians, and amongst South Africans. A lot has been said because people don't have the information at hand. But it is very important to know that there is a way of reaching out to information to try and find out so that a dialogue be brokered amongst people who are arguing over the death of Edgar Lungu. It is obviously between the state and his family. You will hear theories that there are some people who've got money who are backing the PF party so that it makes it difficult for HH to be respected as president because he's failing to break the hoodoo. Yes, obvious, it's apolitical. It's political, this thing. The whole issue is political and it needs very, very, very wise people to get involved in it. It's even more dirtier than you think. Let me go straight right into the issue. Edgar Lungu was in position I would say it that way. The late, in quotes, Edgar Lungu was in possession of 4 passports at the time of his admission in hospital. I said he had how many passports? 4. 4 passports, 2 green passports from Zambia and 2 diplomatic passports. The 5th passport which is spoken of is a passport from Zimbabwe, which is said that it was his. Reason it's being pointed to be his, it's all because of the way his death took place. At the hospital where he died, a person who died had a Zimbabwean passport, and it is alleged that it is him. But Nick Mangwana came out and refused all that. He refuted all those lies and say he did not have a Zimbabwean passport. So three theories are out there, and theory number 1 states the medical privacy was the reason why everything about Edgar Lungu got so mixed up, because they are saying as a former president of a nation, his medical attention did not need to go public had it been identified that it was him. Henceforth, he had a Zimbabwean passport. Theory number 2, they say he had dual citizenship or a political backup plan for the atrocities that he committed when he was still president of Zambia. Number 3, they are blaming it to say it's an influence from the Zimbabwean government. Let me bring it, I've brought all 3 to you. Let me now try and explain them one by one. Then we point to some news that's out there and the questions that's still hanging. Question number 1, is Edgar Lungu dead or he's still alive? Is this a played and fake death or is he still alive? Oh yes, it's getting very interesting. Now it comes back to the very same thing that I always say, that there are some people who are trusted sources. When they bring information, you just have got to pay attention. Listen, we have got prophets that are known for their sound prophetic ministration. You will see that they have not spoken anything in regards to the death of Edgar Lungu. Is it raising questions? Is it showing you some flags? They have never spoken about it. But all those other prophets, they have spoken about what's happening in America. They have spoken about what's happening in Israel. Yet a nation just across the border nation of Zimbabwe, no one has spoken about it. Prophets that claim to be prophets in South Africa, they have never spoken about the death of Edgar Lungu. Even in Zambia, Malawi, we've got good prophets out there, very renowned prophets, but none of them has spoken about the death of Edgar Lungu. I still bring up that very same question. Is Edgar Lungu dead or alive? Is Edgar Lungu's death an acted death or something is being hidden away from the people? Bring it up. Let me bring it up to you. It looks very strange. A dead president is said to be holding a Zimbabwean passport. At the very same time, now we have got his burial suspended. It was suspended at the last minute of the clock, at the last minute before we hit the clock. It was suspended last minute to say the burial has got to be halted. I want people to understand something here. Let me bring out to you, or let me bring before you, the Zambian constitution and what it states. This is very important, and this is very critical to what is happening in Zambia. Zambian constitution, it states that in Article 106, Section 2A, I repeat that, Zambian Constitution, Article 106, Section 2A, it states, a person is eligible for election as president if that person is a Zambian citizen, number 1, by birth or by descent, and does not hold citizen of any other country. Having read this portion of the Constitution, it means to say if Edgar Lungu had a Zimbabwean passport, it's supposed to automatically invalidate his occupants of presidents. His legacy has got to be wiped away and is not supposed to be recognized again on the list of presidents. Remember, I said to date, Zambia has had seven presidents. If that is said to have been the passport of Edgar Lungu that he had with a totally different name and a passport from Zimbabwe, he does not qualify to have been president of Zambia, but according to the constitution of Zambia, it nullifies his presidency. Let's go straight right into it. So because the investigations have started after the highlighting of what's in the constitution, a lot of things are now being dig deep into. There's quite a number of things that's happening. Number one, Edgar Lungu's properties in South Africa have been identified in an area called Blue Valley Midrand in South Africa's billionaire area. It's called the Billionaire Haven. It's said to be in South Africa Midrand. On the 11th of July 2025, it was revealed that Tarsila Edgar Lungu's daughter is the owner of those properties, or all those properties are registered in Tarsila's name and her husband. On the 10th of July 2025, a letter was sent to the SA Home Affairs boss, and I'm going to have to play this video for you to see.
We are here in the Ministry of Home Affairs seeking for clarity and answers, and we have written to the ministry. Here it goes. This is what we've written to the ministry. We are writing an urgent request clarification from your office regarding the highly irregular, undocumented presence of the late president, former Zambian president Edgar Lungu, on our South African soil. And it has now been widely reported across media platforms. Mr. Lungu entered South Africa highly questionable circumstances with multiple discrepancies in documentation, identity, and tracking. The gravity of this matter demands immediate and transparent answers. We bring the following facts and concerns to your attention. Number one. According to credible sources, Mr. Lungu entered South Africa on the 19th of January using a Zambian diplomatic passport with the passport number D00138131. He was granted 90 days to remain in the country, expiring on the 19th of April 2025. Number two, after the date that appears to have been no further movement registered under the Zambian passport. However, Mr. Lungu continued to move in and out of South Africa using a pseudo-Zimbabwean diplomatic passport, effectively bypassing immigration controls, avoiding accountability for overstay. This points to a serious breakdown in oversight within the Department of Home Affairs, which is constitutionally responsible for maintaining accurate population and movement records in addition to the above. We are aware that both Mediclinic and Pretoria and other main hospitals have confirmed that no patient by the name of Edgar Lungu was ever admitted, suggesting that he received treatment under an alias or undocumented identity. Who then was declared dead by the Home Affairs, and under what identity? Is there any other official certificate or population record entry corresponding to Mr. Lungu's passing? Why was no deportation, alert for immigration red flag raised regarding the overstay? Was the identity manipulation not detected by the National Population Register NPR biometrics control of movement testing system? So as a movement, we are here, as we said, we've written to the ministry. It is signed, they've received this, South Africans. We are looking for answers. Definitely we will get them. Thank you.
As you have seen in the video, a letter has been sent. Right, I have the copy of the letter. I could not put all of it here, but I just had to show you the part of it. Right, Edgar Lungu went to South Africa on the 19th of January 2025 on a special Zambian passport. The Zimbabwean passport that is claimed to have been of the late former president of Zambia, Edgar Lungu. It carried the name Tendai Munyaradzi. So basically, it is claimed that the Tendai Munyaradzi is Edgar Lungu. It is not yet verified whether it's not a technical mix-up, political gameplay, or it was the actual name that he also had which would mean to say if it was him who is to be identified as Tendai Munyaradzi, it will confirm that he held dual citizenship, which then automatically takes us back again to what I told you about the Zambian constitution that does not allow a person to be in possession of two nationalities or dual nationality. Zimbabwean passport. Is this a lie cooked to stir up trouble? Or it's never happened that he never had such a passport? But at the time of his death, Nick Mangwana, on the 1st of July 2025, he came out and stated that Edgar Lungu never had a Zimbabwean passport. When Edgar Lungu went to South Africa, in his diplomatic passport, he was given 3 months stay. We call it limited leave. He was given 3 months stay or 3 months limited time of entry into South Africa. After that, at his death, the legal team has said that his movement were no longer properly monitored and they could not exactly identify how he is said to have been in South Africa. Yet his passport, his diplomatic passport, is reporting that he was no longer in South Africa. If he was in South Africa with the very passport, why then was he not tracked down by the South African Immigration or Border Control Forces as an illegal immigrant? And why is it not recorded within the South African government or South African immigration status? It's taking away credibility from the way the South African immigration works. At the very same time, it's challenging the Zambians to reach out to South Africa on one simple basis. If they are to reach out to South Africa, they are going to have to reach out inquiring about Edgar Lungu. But what they are finding when they get there, it is the Alias name that is being used, which is Tendai Munyaradzi, which makes the claim to say he had a Zimbabwean passport to be very wanting to be investigated on. On the 5th of June 2025, Edgar Lungu's death, the former Zambian president, his death was announced by his daughter, Tarsila. She announced the death of her father from within a Praetorian hospital. Now, because she said he died in a Praetorian hospital, records within the Praetorian hospital are not holding anything to do with Edgar Lungu. The death that is said to have occurred on the day and time is pointing to the person of Tendai Munyaradzi. Right. No hospital has a record of Edgar Lungu, not even the Mediclinics or even the Netcare, which are the two kind of hospitals that operate in South Africa. Court papers in South Africa, they are talking of a Zimbabwean, Tendai Munyaradzi. Was that Lungu, or was that Edgar Lungu, or a totally different person? Was this an administration mix-up? It all needs to be clarified. Wait until I get to the end of this presentation. Right, there's no papers that are showing that Edgar Lungu passed away. There is no body shown. Above all, there's no body viewing. Even his burial, which was about to take place, was supposed to have been done privately. Is there something being hidden behind? 2021, Kenneth Kaunda, the former Zambian president, I did meet up with the gentleman before he even died. Former Zambian president Kenneth Kaunda, the founding father of Zambia, yeah, he had a state funeral, and this was done. This was done for people to view the body of their former president, and they are saying we should do the same to honor our also late president, which is not being permitted now by his family and his close allies. What is said to have been the cause of death? I have managed to get information pertaining to what's written on on the cause of death on his death certificate. He is said to have died of achalasia, a rare esophagus disorder which causes somebody to have difficulties when swallowing. That is said to have been the cause of death. Edgar Lungu didn't want his enemy, Hakainde Hichilema, at his funeral. So if you look at it, it's a full-on fight between the two. The acclaimed late Edgar Lungu against the sitting president Hakainde Hichilema. In 2017, this is where their fight started. This is where their fight intensified. And this is what HH always continued to refer to most of the time when he's talking about his differences with Edgar Lungu. It happened in 2017. That was the year 2017 when Hakainde Hichilema was thrown in prison by the said late Edgar Lungu for refusing to move his vehicles to allow the passage of the presidential motorcade. And for this reason, he was charged, and it was charged as treason. Hichilema wanted the body in Zambia of Edgar Lungu because he wants to, not only is he saying what he wants to say, that the state is supposed to be in position of the funeral, but what he is saying is he has sensed what he is thinking is a treacherous act of acting the death of Edgar Lungu. So he's saying Edgar Lungu has got to come and be buried in Zambia, and it's got to be honored as a state funeral because they want to do the body viewing. Are you seeing something here? Something needs to be sensed. And I bring back that very same question. Is Edgar Lungu dead or alive? Is he not simply running away from the atrocities that he said to have done in Zambia? You remember, he was now being investigated for his on his finances, how he has managed to accrue the wealth that he has, and everything. I remember some of the buildings that were taken in Zambia, which were owned by his wife. For that reason, could it be the reason why Edgar Lungu is said to have faked death or is said not to have died? I'm going to bring you the theories that have come after. Right. Pretoria Court, they said they will decide on the 4th of August, 2025, whose wish will be granted. The wish of the family is to make sure that Edgar Lungu is buried in South Africa. But the wish of the sitting president or the government of Zambia ruling currently, they are saying the burial of Edgar Lungu is supposed to be the responsibility of the government. So did Lungu fake his death? Were they using a fake name? Was Lungu Zimbabwean? If he is to be attached to the passport of Munyaradzi, that is going to cause a lot of problems. The death is sounding like a fake movie plot. If you closely look at it, the death is starting to sound like a fake movie plot because things are just not clear somehow. Everyone is making sure that they are keeping their corner covered. The sitting president, Hakainde Hichilema, he wants the body to be expatriated to the country so that people pay respect to their former president because they believe he deserves the respect because he has been their president. But the family of it is holding back, saying before he died, he said he does not want to see Hakainde Hichilema close to his body or too close to his corpse, meaning to say it really shows you the intensity of the fight between the two people. Edgar Lungu was born in 1957 in an area called Ndola in Zambia. He took over from Michael Sata, who died in 2014, and Edgar Lungu started to become president in 2015. Now, during his presidential tenure, a lot of things were done in Zambia. Developments were witnessed. Let me tell you about the developments that were done in Zambia. New roads were constructed. New airports were constructed close to state of the art. Bridges, they got fixed. But all this, they are saying it was used, they were built using the loans that they were getting from China. So by 2015, Zambia was now $14 billion in debt. Schools started to shut down as they could not afford even to have books in schools. Above all, the hospitals had no medication. And then Edgar Lungu is said to have died at 68 years old. Look at it. Is this all about, number one, power, secrecy, and legacy? What is all this about? What's bringing up this fight for all these people to continue to fight? I have managed to reach out to quite a number of them, as you would see on this. This issue did not just start now. I remember trying to intervene or starting to intervene before it got to the stage where it is, as evidenced by these posts. Listen, Edgar Lungu was in possession of 4 passports. The 5th one is said to be a Zimbabwean passport. Which is which? Nick Mangwana has stood for Zimbabwe to defend that Edgar Lungu was never in possession of a Zimbabwean passport. Those are all fake lies that's been crafted not only to cause confusion, but also to discredit Zimbabwe. So Nick Mangwana became the spokesperson for Zimbabwe in defending what he's saying is a lie. At the very same time, Zambians are so furious, having realized what their constitution says. If it is to be said that Edgar Lungu was in possession of a Zimbabwean passport. If he was in possession of Zimbabwean passport, at what stage did he get that passport? Was it during his time as president? Was it after the time when he had lost his presidential position? Or was it recently when just days before he died, so as for him to have a fallback plan in case something does not go right, especially in the political arena where he was having a political fight with the Hakainde Hichilema? There are some missing pieces there that needs to be corrected. All that, I'm going to bring it in detail in the next chapter. I just wanted to let you know that I have been in contact now with these people, and the discussions are progressing. They are progressing very well. Let's see how far we go. And I still pray that Zambia, you keep heart. Zimbabwe, you keep heart. South Africa, you keep heart. Reason being, it causes tension within the region. Reason being, it discredits the South African immigration and government for not putting tight controls in their immigration system to allow somebody to be in possession of the acclaimed 5 passports and still allowed entry into the country. Above all, having that person to leave out of the country and still die in their country without the use of the recognized diplomatic passports or Zambian passports. His entry has left a lot of questions that needs to be asked within the South African immigration status. The acclaim of him being in possession of the Zimbabwean passport, it stands to discredit the nation of Zimbabwe. Don't forget, these high-ranked people, at times they also possess these diplomatic passports from other nations. In case you've forgotten, let's bring in the former First Lady of Zimbabwe, Grace Gucci Mugabe. She had a South African diplomatic passport. For more, I'm going to be coming back. Stay blessed. Bye for now.